Hey, welcome to Musings, episode number 217.
That's right.
Oh, man, we're just blowing through them, getting closer and closer to 250.
250. That's right. Yeah, we had an awesome week this last week. Got back from Tampa.
Yeah.
Had some good times. Great seeing Brett and Kevin in person. That's always good. And Connie, the Comic-Con mom.
Yeah, that was our first time all three of us being together since last year, September, we figured out.
Yeah.
So that was...
Time flies.
I know. It felt like forever, and at the same time, it didn't feel as much time at all, because we do talk quite a bit through these things, through the StreamYards and the chats we do.
Even seeing people in person like Vinny and Lisa or Corey, got to see Corey. It's been like a year and a half since I've seen any. Actually, Vinny and Lisa were even longer because they weren't at Great Lakes Comic-Con. So it's been almost 2 years. I think it was Akron. So November of the year before. So was that
2019. Yeah.
And so on one hand, it feels like forever. And on the other hand, it feels like yesterday. So it's so weird how time works like that.
Yeah. I had been fortunate to see Vinny and Lisa for a very short 4-hour visit down at Kevin and Brandy's. They were driving through. Mom and I drove down, had dinner with them all, and then drove back. So I did see them, but that was still last fall. That's last October. So got some people chiming in, Kevin and Doug. Hey guys.
Yeah. Good seeing you guys on here.
But yeah, and didn't see everybody I thought I'd see at Tampa. There's a lot of people that did not come out this year that usually come out as fans. But I did see a few. Yeah, unfortunately, it was a later show traffic-wise than we were hoping. But
yeah, there was a show the week before that kind of stole the thunder, from what I'm gathering.
Yeah, I'm throwing in a mix of that and the fact that not this weekend, but the next 2 weekends are two major shows or one major show and one trying to be a major show in Orlando. And between the two, they're bringing in probably roughly 75 celebrities. Yeah. So it kind of threw off the dynamics of how shows should run in Florida, because everybody's trying to cram everything all into the same tight space.
Yeah. Yeah. Traditionally, a lot of these shows are spaced throughout the year, but with the COVID thing happening, everything opening up finally, the shows that would have been spaced throughout the year are all cramming within like a 6-week period.
Yeah.
And, and fans they're going to pick and choose which one they're going to go to, and one or two, instead of maybe they would have gone to all 6 spaced out through the year. So,
hey, Stacy.
Stacy, welcome aboard the Odd Musing train.
Yeah, she's watching while at work there.
So have you settled in from the travels?
Oh God, no. Monday I got some things unpacked. So I haven't gone through with the show stuff, just mainly clothes and a few other things. But I got up early yesterday. I worked all yesterday. I worked till 2:00 yesterday, and then had chiropractor. Came home, helped Mom out with a couple things she needed, and to get back, because she's got drumming going on. So I helped her unload some waters and things like that. And then I did pretty much the same thing you did. I headed to the movies to see the Jungle Cruise.
Yes, yeah. I have to say, let's bang out some ads and get those out of the way, and then we can jump into Jungle Cruise maybe.
All right, I'll start us off with Loringer Family Chiropractic Center, located in Belleville, Michigan, and Dexter, Michigan. And they take great pride in providing the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient, offering on-site digital x-rays, massage therapy, orthotics by foot levelers, young living essential oils, aromatherapy, full line of vitamins, all in a family-oriented environment. Give a call, 734-697-4244. You can visit online at LoringerFamilyChiropractic.com. As always, have links at iMusic for you guys. And of course, right here, kind of hard to see on my small screen, but maybe it's a little bit bigger for you guys, at Loringer Family Chiro is the Facebook page. Go on there. You can click from your phone the call now to give them a call. And if you're not in the area, but you're just kind of looking for some advice on where you should look for, give them a call. They're happy to help.
That's right. And we also have Team Titans Real Estate. Why? Because you matter. That's right. Even though technology and tools are always changing, fancy, dancy stuff keeps popping up, and they come and go. But what doesn't change is buying a house is a personal relationship experience that you need more
of it this week.
Yeah. It's just technology is so nice, but God, and I'm seeing it in the industry. We're seeing more and more. The more connected we are through technology, it seems like the less connected we are in person, and it is changing things. And I will, without pointing out names or anything like that, I have seen the quality of work go down on certain people who they only want to do everything technology wise, and you need a personal touch. So many people are just working from home now. And as realtors, for instance, one of the power of hiring a realtor that works with a great brokerage is we have other great agents in the office, and we learn from each other's experiences. And a certain realtor in the office might be going through something or having a transaction maybe I haven't dealt with, and I learn from them and see how they dealt with it. Or we're through talking, we figure out the trends, just like with Comic-Cons. Brett, Kevin, I, our friends, Leah Huddleston, which was awesome to see out there. We haven't seen her in a while. Or Corey. We all talk and share notes of what's working, what's not working, what are fans choosing. It's the same in real estate. And when you are connected to that community with that personal touch that we give our clients, you learn more, and you have more tools in your belt to use to help you get the deals you want. We just had a great closing that happened with some sellers of ours, and we were able to really pull out all the stops for them and really get them an amazing offer on the table, well above appraisal value, with an amazing appraisal guarantee. But it all came down to the strategy we used and to work with getting that right deal in. Because if sometimes the highest offer isn't necessarily the best offer, appraisal guarantees matter in this market. But our clients were so thrilled. But part of that is because I'm interacting with people. So anyways, so many people now want to work out of their house. And if they're doing that, they become an island, and they're not getting the benefit of the group knowledge of the brokerage if they're never in the office. So, Jill and I, every day we come to the office. We could work out of our house, but we don't want to become an island. We want to be connected with the community, our peers, and constantly be up to date on what's going on for you. So anyways, give us a call. 586-549-6096 is my number, and Jill's number is 586-277-2145. We'd love to be there for any of your real estate needs.
Awesome. Well, that's one thing. I know you were even real estate while we were in Tampa, because you were taking phone calls as you could.
Phone calls. Yeah. On one hand, people think, oh, I'm going to become a realtor because I can only work 2 hours a day and I'm going to make thousands of dollars. And it's like HGTV where you just show a pretty house and everyone's happy. There's a lot of work. And while it's true, there is some flexibility to your job as a realtor. There's a lot of inflexibility too, because you got to be available for the client's needs. It's why first-year agents, 80% of all first-year agents don't make it to their second year, because it's not like you see on TV. It's a lot harder. There's a lot more than putting a sign in the yard and just waiting for a buyer to come. Yep.
I think it's with anything. It's if you think you're going to coast, especially right away on stuff, you're definitely going to fail. Yeah. And for anything that they say, well, as you get, eventually you'll be able to kind of semi-coast or anything. Yeah. You still have to put the work in ahead of time. So
you do. A lot of new agents think they're just going to walk in off the street and just start making tons of money. It's a business, and most businesses take 3 to 5 years to even hit the break-even point. You got to build up a clientele base. There's so much you got to do. Even as an artist, it takes time to build up a fan base that you can count on to show up for your Kickstarters.
And that's kind of what we were doing in Tampa. It was our first real major show back besides Gem City for Kevin and I the week before. But over those 2 weeks, what we've done is we've taken our existing titles, but our new titles, shown them all together and said, hey, we got a lot of new stuff here. A lot of people are like, oh, I didn't know about that. But then in Tampa, I had a couple times where people come on and they go, oh, I supported that Kickstarter. I saw that and I seen that online. You guys were this and that. That's awesome. And that was kind of working that fan base a little bit, building it up a little bit, introducing new people. And, while we'd like to have introduced it to a lot more, the people that saw the new books that we had between Scott's Crimson Shadows, Kevin's poem Macabre, and then Scott's Richard Rome's, and that was very excited for all that. And excited about all the work that we all brought into it between covers and interiors and things like that. So
I was very happy with the response. People seem to really enjoy it. They're loving the quality we're putting in. So, and speaking of which, we currently have a Kickstarter going too. Issue 3 is going strong. We have a week left of that. So we'll post the links and share that page in a little bit, but definitely keep that in mind as well. But good times.
Yeah, we had after around during Gem City and even just after, we had a nice little surge, and didn't have as much of a surge over the weekend at Tampa, but boy, since then we kind of jumped up quite a bit, and I'm hoping we've gotten some newer supporters of the Kickstarter that saw us at the show that are excited to get issue 3 because it's done. I mean, the book is done. Kevin's got it ready to go. It's just got to finish up the Kickstarter, and he's shooting for September ship dates.
Yeah, and I just popped in just now. We're almost at 3,500.
Yeah,
so we had a little jump since I saw it this morning, so that's good.
Well, we had another backer, so at 83. I saw 82 earlier.
There's a special reward.
Yeah, go ahead. There's a special stretch goal. Yeah, so 17 more backers. So, yeah, I like that idea. The 17 more backers, and you're going to get a metal. I believe it's a metal trading card.
Yes,
as the next reward level. And of course, hitting over 3,000 unlock the option to add or change which issue you get, because Scott's got a brand new cover with Poe himself as Red holding the skull, and there it is right there.
There's the cover, and the trading card is right here. This is a mock-up. It might be a little different at the end, but this is it here.
Yep. Basically. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Oh, wrong one. There's Doug. Michelle, what's out? She's listening while working, and she's out there delivering our mail.
Nice.
So, but yeah, we've got Doug King was mentioned about the county to county stuff for the real estate. Scott's got to know a lot of stuff, and fortunately, he's got Jill, who's a lot brighter than him. Just kidding.
In all seriousness, though, with one of the things we do to stay fresh, because you got to stay fresh in what's in the market, and one of we get back to real estate with a personal touch, right? We talk about that, not to make and then I'll wrap up the real estate side. But since he brought that up, one of the things you gotta be careful of, and this happens in the art world too. We have all these amazing tools, right? With digital draw, you can draw digitally, and there's some nice shortcuts. It's almost like math. You can use a calculator, but you should still learn how to do math without a calculator, because sometimes you're going to need it. Plus, it keeps your mind sharp. With drawing, you got to be careful when you switch to digital drawing, because it's still drawing. Everyone's like, well, did you draw that by hand or digitally? Well, both. You're still drawing by hand.
Yeah.
But there's some nice tools where you can do things for shortcuts and making it faster. But if you only draw digitally, over time, that hand-eye coordination, that muscle memory, that starts fading. It starts atrophying. And over time, it becomes a crutch instead of a tool. And you got to be careful with that. And the same thing happens in real estate. We have all these amazing tools to keep you up to date, where you can sign up for automatic mailings, and we can set up search criteria for you where when a house hits the market, if it matches you, it automatically sends to you. And it's very nice. However, the downfall is, as a realtor, if I have everybody set up on that, I have no idea what's actually popping up. I don't know what's emailing you. And then you call me and ask me about something, I have no idea. It's like, I better look this up, because everything was done automatically. We don't do that. We do it old school. We have our list of clients who like to be updated on everything, and we manually go in and search every client's thing. We set up the search criteria ahead of time, but so it's not a long process, but it's a custom approach, because every day, 3 times a day, we're running those searches for each person individually, and we see what hits the market new. We see what the prices are doing. So we know at any given day what is happening in the markets around here. And I think that helps give us an edge when we work with buyers, that we know exactly what the trends are because we're doing it ourselves.
Yep.
So,
but you mentioned about the drawing. I actually talked with, one of the guys that we talked to, just to kind of get to know, because we were scouting out people that possibly want to include as cover artists down the road. And we were talking about drawing. And he says, I like to go to Disney and draw tourists, because he's local to Disney. He's got a annual pass. And we were talking about a little bit of drawing size. I said, that's one thing I said, I'm semi personal trained on art, but I was always a writer and still am. But I said, the thing I tell these kids that are always talking about drawing and, is that digital? Is that? I said, I like to draw on paper a lot, because I'm still building that muscle memory. And that's what him and I were talking about. So many of these kids, they get into that digital drawing and they almost never pick up paper anymore. And you can kind of tell it, because there's a lot of the younger ones at the shows that everything I have is prints, and if they're doing any drawing, they're going, well, they're just sitting on the tablet. I never see them try to draw on a paper, do sketch covers, things like that. And I tell some of these kids, you really should practice on the paper. I said, one, it gives you a nice original to sell if you're going to be selling at the shows. But number two is you do want to build up that muscle memory and how things move, because you get so easy with all the tips, tools, and tricks that people are just sitting there cranking stuff out digitally that it actually does change a whole lot of your dynamics.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you could easily just quickly draw a face digitally, not worry about proportions, then after the fact, lasso it, change it, move it, reshape things to fit what would be right. But work on paper, whether it's pen or even with pencil, you got to get it right on the paper. There's no delete button. I mean, there are erasers, but that's a lot of work. You try not to. Or even the opposite too, where sometimes you make mistakes on paper and you're like, oh, wait, that's actually better. And you get the happy accidents that Bob Ross likes to talk about. Digital, you lose a lot of those happy accidents because you correct them. So anyways, it's been I had a fun time down in Tampa. Like, I love using Showtime to work on sketch covers, because I enjoy that drawing, live in front of people and doing that. So
yeah, that's what Kevin talked about. He with our Poe, he was drawing the Mask of Red Death traditionally and inking and all that. So
I think he has samples on here of some of those pages.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Hey, we're doing great.
There's some original there. That's an original there of one of the covers. Here's some of the pages done. He did ink washes and stuff like that. And then we had some fun with a couple sketch covers at the show where I did the pencils and he did the inks. So that was fun to do. So yeah, it's fun working traditionally. And I definitely, if you don't do it much, just do it. Enjoy it. One of the things people fret about is, well, it might not look good. Well, who says you have to post it? Just draw for yourself. Not everything has to be on social media.
It doesn't? Oh my gosh. That's like life-changing, altering news right there.
Yeah, get a sketchbook and just doodle. My old school notes were all doodles. There was very little writing.
Yeah, and I did actually see, this is something I was looking around for. I needed some comic bags because I didn't pack any and nobody had any, but I did see actually several places actually selling sketchbooks. I was like, wow, they're actually selling a sketchbook again. They hadn't done that for years at the shows.
This is a funny story, Doug.
Okay.
So I had known Doug through Facebook originally, and he was going to finally see me in person at Motor City Comic Con. And I warned him, he had this funny profile picture where he was holding a spork up to his face. And I'm like, well, a lot of times people have certain profile pictures, and then you see them in person, you don't know who they are because their profile picture doesn't look like them in every day.
Right.
So I'm like, well, when you come up to my table, hold the spork up, and then I'll know it's you. And he did. So he commissioned me. He commissioned me to actually draw him holding the spork. And if I remember right, like I had lightning or something coming out of the spork, and I forget, but it was fun. It was a good time.
That's cool. So yeah, we'll revisit the Kickstarter again before we leave today.
Yeah. But
things are going really good. Real excited about that, on how that went over the weekend. And yeah, while the show wasn't what all we hoped it would be, we knew that, it's still coming back. It's all new. And we'll hopefully have better shows as the year goes on and then into next year.
Yeah, definitely. It's a weird time of year between the COVID stuff and everything else. So and then we're also changing up our whole mix and doing everything different. So overall, I was very pleased with the event as a whole. The company I had, that was of course great. The food, every meal we had, I think whatever we had was, this is the best ever.
Well, yeah,
it was insane.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And now, Doug, do I know if you guys are going to Motor City? I am not going to be at Motor City. I'll be at the Indiana Comic Con with Kevin because we already booked there. Yeah. But you get Scott all to yourself. And you guys can cuddle behind the table. He could draw you another sport.
Yep. But so one of the benefits of working together is we're going to be able to divide and conquer. Both shows ended up on the same weekend here for this fall. And so Brett and Kevin are going to handle Indiana. I'm going to handle Motor City. So you'll still be able to get all of our books at either location. So that'll be nice. And we also have that with Cincinnati. When we do Cincinnati, Brett and I will handle Cincinnati. Well, Kevin is going to go do Monroe Comic-Con down in Monroe, Michigan, because those also fall on the same weekend.
Right. Yeah. So and that's going to happen a couple times here and there, especially this year. And then as we're planning our shows next year, everybody's got different availabilities for schedules. So some people are able to do some shows and some may not be able to. So we'll be working on that. So just check with us. If you guys are watching us around the country, you say, ask us, you can email us, say, hey, just go to oddmusings.com, click an email and say, are you guys going to come to this show? And if it's not someone we looked at, we may look into it because maybe someplace we want to visit.
And our next show coming up is Colorado Springs, I believe. So if you're out in Denver, go out to the Colorado Springs show. Brett and Kevin will be over there.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I was looking at the guest list. It's they got a lot of guests at that one too. But they're bringing in a few of the people that are out filming right now because they're filming the new Clerks 3, and they're going to actually Dante and Randall at this. I was like, oh, cool, because I've never met Randall. I've met Dante before a couple times. So I'm like, okay, I may have to actually go meet these guys together. That'd be kind of cool.
Dante was O'Halloran?
Yes, Brian O'Halloran is Dante, and then Randall's Jeff Anderson. And Jeff didn't start doing shows till just before COVID shut everything down. He had actually gone into like a retirement as he said, I'm done doing this. I don't want to do anymore. Didn't want to do any more Clerks movies, stuff like that. And I think Kevin rewrote the script and went to him and said, look, here's the script for, number 3. And I think he really liked it. He said, okay, I'll come back out, and then realized he could also start hitting the shows and make some money. So I think that's why he's coming out to the different shows. But yeah, they got a big list. I went through it a little bit. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head everybody I saw, but it looks pretty cool. Yeah. And first time out to that show, and Kevin and I've been talking, and we're going to check out I think it's Garden of the Gods National Park there, and a few other places and things like that. Unfortunately, not because the game's going on, but they're having a game on Saturday night in Denver. It's a ways from where we're at, but it's too far for us to try to make it after the show. Yeah. I was like, dang, we could have gone to a preseason game and watch the Broncos beat up on Stafford.
Indeed.
I know.
So it's already 10:25. Time's flying.
I know.
We both went and saw Jungle Cruise. We'll give a spoiler-free review. We won't give any spoilers. But the one thing I really wanted to comment on about this movie isn't about the movie. I want to see if the same thing happened to you. I got there. The theater was packed. There was a line for popcorn. We had to wait in line. It was so nice to see people out. This was my first time going to the movie since COVID that it felt like I was back at the movies. How about you?
I was in Canton, and it was not. I didn't have to really wait for lines or anything. Now, the theater itself, people came in. I got there a little bit early. I finished doing some stuff. Instead of just coming home and sitting for like 10 minutes and then leaving, I just went straight there. Plus, I hadn't had dinner, so I decided to treat myself to a Imagine pizza. It was pretty good because they cook my little pizza ovens there. And so I went in, ordered my popcorn because it's Popcorn Tuesday, and paid my $2 to upgrade it to a giant size, over the size bucket. And I'm sure, did Joe go with you?
Yes.
So you had your cloud of ranch, and
she had the cloud of ranch.
Yeah, but it floats your way, I'm sure.
It does.
But it wasn't bad. I'm sitting in the theater by myself, bring my pizza, and it's probably like about 5 minutes before the actual start time. But they do have quite a few previews, and theater ended up being, I would say, close to half filled. This was at 6:20.
Ours now, was when I left, 80% full.
Now, when I left, there was a decent amount of people. No one was really waiting in line to get food or anything. They must have been moving them through, but there's a decent amount of people still there coming and going. So I think it was overall in Canton wasn't as packed as yours, but it was definitely steady traffic. So it was nice to see that there was a fair amount of people in the theaters.
But even for yours at half full for a Tuesday night, that's good. Mm-hmm. So I felt it just felt so nice to have an actual theater full of people. Whereas even Black Widow, that was my biggest movie, probably attendance wise, and I think it was like 40% full or something. So it just felt really good to have that many people in there.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that aspect. It was, at least it was other people that were, when you're enjoying it, I can go watch a movie by myself on the screen because I want to see it on the big screen. But when you have other people in the theater that are actually enjoying the movie and watching the movie and not acting a fool. Unfortunately, I had a few people kind of chatting a little bit. The kids got up a few times. It wasn't overly bad, so I didn't say anything. But for the most part, everybody was enjoying the movie, laughing, and everything else. So, yeah,
it looks like Doug had a similar experience. 3/4 full. That's great.
Yeah. So people are starting to get back out there. Even with all the doom and gloom talk again on the news, people are still getting out and doing things. And that's what I feel it needs to be, because I like getting out. I love going to the movies. Seeing a movie on the big screen is like, you could go buy this Jungle Cruise for $30 on Disney Plus and watch it and have early access, they call it, until November when it hits Disney Plus. It'll probably hit Blu-ray before that, but
this last weekend, we've got a couple lawsuits popping up because of this. These theaters, these companies going straight to on demand. Scarlett Johansson is suing for Black Widow because her contract is tied to theater sales.
Yeah.
And by doing this, she's saying she lost money, which is a very strong argument. And I think I saw one tied to Jungle Cruise. I think it was Emily Blunt, maybe, but I'm not sure. I forget who was looking into filing a lawsuit. So,
well, I saw where there was a speculation that it would be Dwayne Johnson. I don't think he's going to.
I don't think it would be him,
because he's actually tied into Jungle Cruise as a producer, so he's getting paid differently than just as an actor.
Well, plus, based on like what I've heard from like WWE behind the scenes and stuff, he's a major kiss butt. So he sucks up to execs to really make sure he moves his way up. So I don't think he would jeopardize his butt kissing relationships to stay on top.
Hey, he knows everything he got is. Been
but
fortunate,
to be fair to him, he has charisma. He's great. This movie is just 100. The problem with The Rock is this: he's starting to be everywhere, and he's always the same character now. He's always the same. He's got great charm, great charisma, and it's gonna start getting hard to see him in different roles because he's always the same guy. Like this could have been Jumanji again. He could have been the same guy in Jumanji here. So we'll see.
I like, and that's part of the reason I think I like that. There is sometimes with people like Rock, I enjoy, a lot of things, like even Ryan Reynolds, he's always Ryan Reynolds, whether he's Deadpool or upcoming Free Guy. And there's things like that I enjoy. He was Ryan Reynolds in, the Hitman's Bodyguard and the sequel. So,
but the problem becomes when you get cast in a major role, like Batman, for instance.
Yeah.
People have a certain perception of Ben Affleck. So when he gets cast in a role where Batman is the star, not the star, that brings certain baggage. So I'm curious how it's going to translate over to him being Black Adam in the Shazam movies, because he's becoming so identifiable as himself. He is the brand. And
and that happens a lot. So I'm curious to see too. And that, but I enjoy pretty much all his movies. I enjoy because I like the way his actions coming about, because he's bringing it's not the Schwarzenegger type action we used to see, and the different extras you see through he's kind of doing a mix of having the big bulky guy, and he's throwing in sometimes a little bit of like a Bruce Willis-esque humor and different things like that. So I like
The
that.
Rock has charisma for sure. But what he brings is, like with Schwarzenegger was a bodybuilder doing action roles.
Right.
Dwayne Johnson is an action person. He was a professional wrestler. He was a professional football player, college football player. He has true physical skills. I mean, as a wrestler, he's more of a stuntman and an actor. To be a pro wrestler, you have to be both. You're a stuntman and actor. So he's able to bring those skills into his acting movies, and they can do more than you could with Schwarzenegger. So, and he does truly have charm. The chemistry between him and Emily Blunt is phenomenal in here. She's a great actress. So they really combine very well in this movie.
Yeah, I really loved her in this. I like her a lot in different things, even with the Quiet Place movies. I find a lot of disappointments in it. It's not with her acting. She's great. She's great as Mary Poppins. I think she's also with this. She's starting to become somewhat of a Disney brand too.
Yes.
And even The Rock is kind of moving in that direction in some ways too, having this Disney, because he sponsored this. He also is doing on Disney Plus. They have like a version of like the movies you love. They have the rides you love, and they're going visiting all the rides. He's executive produced that, and they have one. Of course, first one's on the Jungle Cruise, and it tells the history of the rides, which is really cool. I watched just that one and the Haunted Mansion ones, and I love seeing. I knew the Haunted Mansion one because that's my favorite ride, and so I kind of researched that a little bit over the years. But it's nice to see how these rides came about, the thought and process and that, and the stories behind them, and then seeing the Jungle Cruise movie now and seeing how and knowing how the ride is, because I've rode it several times over my lifetime, and the fact that they incorporated sequences with the jokes. Basically, he is the epitome of all the skippers you get when you go on the Jungle Cruise ride at Disney World, Disneyland, or wherever they have it, with all his corny jokes, stuff like that. And I'm laughing through all of them. They were great.
Yeah. So there is one thing I noticed in this movie too. Once again, I'm not going to give spoilers. There's a nice twist, I think, to the Dwayne Johnson character I liked.
Yep.
But with that twist, it would be possible to bring it. Like I keep talking about how this could tie into Pirates of the Caribbean.
This felt very Pirates in a lot of ways. Some in storytelling
could link the Dwayne Johnson character to Pirates.
In a way, yes. They did set that up, and they had a nice setup talking about because the initial setup from the beginning of the movies is there's this flower. It ties into all the myths that I've ever heard about for the Amazon, is that there is plants down there that could heal everything.
Right.
And they just can't find them because they're in such dense forest, remote areas that are just difficult to get to, or just too dangerous to get to.
Yeah.
So that's where
let's see. The pirate movies take place between 1720s and 1750s.
Yes.
Is what the interwebs tell us. So it could work with the twist that they do put to his character. That's all I'll say.
Right. And that'd be interesting to see if they're going to eventually try something like that, or if this is just a neat way of kind of loosely saying it's all in the same universe. And I think that's kind of fun. And I liked it. I really liked this movie a lot. It's 2 hours and 14 minutes, but boy, it didn't feel like it. I never felt bored at all through the whole thing.
No, it kept moving. They did a good job. My only complaint would be, and it's not a major complaint. He has a pet tiger or cougar or whatever it is, and it looks CGI. You can tell it's CGI. So I just wish that was a little better. But that's it. Yeah,
and I'm not sure why it wasn't done a little bit better, other than maybe just
especially since they had a whole extra year. This was supposed to release last year, so
and I think, I'll be honest with you, I think it was done. They was ready to release it, and then they just said, "Okay, we'll wait till we can release it." And they never touched it again. But that could have been a little bit better, but it was still fun. That character was interesting. I didn't realize from the trailers as much the brother character, how much of a role he would have, and he was a major character in this. He was funny. He had some bits and pieces here that were great.
I read a review online, and I think this is a perfect thing. And I think it matches after seeing it. Mm-hmm. If you liked the Brendan Fraser Mummy movie, you'll like this. Yeah,
I had a feeling of that.
Even the brother was a similar character to the one guy who tagged along with them in the Mummy.
Who was the brother?
Brother
of Rachel Weisz's character? Yeah.
So it kind of.
I felt a lot. I did feel some similarities in that just from the beginning when we first meet Emily Blunt's character and we meet the brother. I was like, okay, they're kind of tying it. Although he wasn't as shady as the other one. He was just kind of a prima donna, is the best way to put it, because he's just an upper crust Englishman who had to have a coat to have tea and then change to another coat for dinner, and then had to put on another sleeping coat, and so he was just that kind of character. So.
Another surprise actor in this was Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti, I didn't realize he was in it either. He was. I love him. He is one of the best character actors.
I think the last time I saw him was as Rhino in the Spider-Man movie.
Oh, he's been around he does a lot of so many of these different roles.
Yeah. I just feel like I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up because I've seen him recently in a few different things. Because he did his character. So he does these characters. He has no problem saying, okay, I'll do this role. And he was in he's been on Billions with The Rock. So that's probably why he was in this. I'm in for that. I know he's been doing some voiceover work in a few TV things. I was trying to find some. I saw him something recently, and yeah, I guess he hasn't got a whole lot of. He's got some lists, some different voiceovers, things like that. A few movies. The Catcher Was a Spy. So, but it's I don't know. I've seen some stuff he pops up. Oh, San Andreas, he was in that. So, but over the last 5 years, but yeah, he's got a lot of credits. But it looks like a lot more voice work. But it seems like he was, popping up in different things here and there. And I wonder if not all of them got credited on IMDb. So,
and speaking
and
of Disney,
he was in Saving Mr. Banks, so he has been around for
okay.
Disney stuff. So,
speaking of Disney and stuff, they've been trying to break away from Johnny Depp because of the lawsuit issues with Amber Heard, but sounds like he's been winning everything. So I wonder if they'll be able to.
Yeah, he just
back since it turns out she was the douche.
Yeah, well, they can now look at the records for supposedly she was donating half her money to this charity, and now they can actually look to see if she actually did.
Yeah, but it turns out
they're
she
saying
was
that
the
she
one
didn't.
causing issues, not Johnny Depp. So hopefully they will bring him back.
Yeah, they need to, because she accused him of spousal abuse, all this other stuff, and it turns out that she was the one that was beating on him. And I was never a fan of hers anyway. So
yeah,
but we're not getting too much into that. But yeah, back Jungle Cruise. Just wrap up on that. I loved it. I recommend it. Is it the greatest movie ever? No. I saw a friend of mine said he thought it was going to be a 7 and ended up being a 5. You're going to get your own take on this. Personally, it's exactly what I wanted in a movie last night.
Yeah,
was to sit and enjoy myself and just be along for the ride.
Yeah, ensemble cast wise, I prefer the Jumanji movies with The Rock. I think those are more fun. You get a little more character interaction with between Jack Black and Kevin Hart and all those. So I prefer the Jumanji movies, but this is in the same vein as that. If you like the Mummy, if you like the Jumanji movies, this is The Rock being who The Rock is now in these movies, and it's good. It's fun, and Emily Blunt blends well with him. The story moves along very well. It keeps, like Brett said, it didn't feel as long as it was. It went by pretty quick, I felt.
Yeah.
I think watching it in the theater will be better on this than streaming it.
I'm so glad I saw it in the theater, because it really plays well in the larger screen. And eventually I'll own it and I'll watch it on my home screen, but I'm glad I got to see it in the theater, and I may eventually go see it again if I have time. But there's a lot of other movies I want to see. I still got to see Snake Eyes and Free Guys coming out, and we actually got movies coming out now, which is great.
Right.
So
let's see. I don't know how to say that. Akash Sheik. I mean, gave it a 5, but wanted to give it a 7. But but they love the angle and the end. But yeah.
I think I was quoting
fair.
I'm quoting Akashika, I think, from his Facebook post. So yeah. But yeah, and that's fine. Everybody's got their own views on this stuff, and it's one of those things where, like I said, if someone says it's a great one, no, it's not. Does it have its flaws? Yeah, all movies do. And there are things I would have done slightly different here and there. But there's things I really like. Oh, and last thing, the bad guy in this. I've seen him in a couple things recently.
He was in Breaking Bad. He was the captain in that Black Mirror episode that was the Star Trek parody.
That's where I knew him. Yeah, Jesse Plemons is his name. Yeah, he was. That's where I was trying to think where I knew him from. I was like, I've seen him in a few things in that. So, yeah, he was great on that Black Mirror, and they're supposedly doing a series based on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see.
So, and it's funny is he's not German, does a great accent. He's from Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he's from
Breaking
Texas,
Bad.
so that's kind of funny.
Yeah, Breaking Bad was kind of where he got his.
Yeah, I just pull up his.
Where he was known, but he's good at playing psychos.
Yeah, let's pull up stuff here. He's been around for a while. Yeah, he's actually been in stuff since back in 98, 99. He was in Varsity Blues, bunch of little appearances here and there. So he was. I said, Breaking Bad, Friday Night Lights, the series. He was in that one too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he played Todd for that year on Breaking Bad. He's in Fargo here recently. Mm-hmm. But yeah, as of recently though, and I loved him in this. He's kind of a swarmy character. He's just getting, you look at him and go, God, you just want to slap him around, because you're like, you just seem like a bad guy. Yeah, Doug's almost Suicide Squad comes out. I'll be watching that on HBO Max. So that's one that I haven't gotten into the Suicide Squad movie they did, and the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey, and I'm just like, do I go spend money or not? I think I'll watch it, and if I like it well enough, I wanted to see it again, then I go see it in the theater. So
yeah, I
DC
too much.
Yeah. The only thing I will go see, probably the next one I will see is Black Adam and the second Shazam movie they're filming now. I will go see those in the theaters. I really enjoyed the Shazam movie.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel like a DC movie.
Though I will. What's given me hope for Suicide Squad is I do like how James Gunn did Guardians. I really enjoyed Guardians, so I'm looking forward to that. The problem is, like, it's the studio is what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. Loved Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 2, the studio put their hands in it and I think ruined it for Patty Jenkins. I think the problems with Wonder Woman 2 is all the studio, not Patty Jenkins.
Well, there was 3 writers on Wonder Woman 84, and before it was supposed to be just like Patty Jenkins along with Jeff Johns. Right. Well, then they have a third name in there. I was like, that's where they ruined it. That's at least my personal opinion on that. Is when you start seeing that, it's like, okay, so they had to have gone in after that. She wrote such a great first film and directed a good film, and then she's contracted, and of course now she had to do that, and then she's was, and I hope she still is supposed to do the
Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron for Star Wars, the movie. And then after Wonder Woman didn't do well, they're kind of talking like she may not be able to do that. And I'm like, no, it's not her fault. She's a fantastic director. And she's a good writer. It's just when you get a studio, which, Warner Brothers likes to do, they like to dip their hands in and mess up something good. So now with Suicide Squad, I'm semi-excited to see it only because James Gunn did it. And he was kind of given leeway because they took him away from Marvel, and they were like, we want to have a success of a Guardians, where they didn't really get that with the first Suicide Squad. So this could be a breakout for that.
If they truly let him do the movie he wants, I think it'll be good.
Yeah. So if it ends up being but in this one, as far as I know, they didn't try to do this whole understory with the Joker and everything else like they did in the first one. That to me kind of lost me, and they probably should just done that story instead of the one they did.
That was the good story, I thought.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the rest of it was kind of but I like the ideas they're doing with this one, the different characters bringing in. And I know Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie's going to be a part of all of these for a long time. She is the big breakout star from all these DC movies that people are really clamoring for. So, but yeah, we got Suicide Squad actually coming out. Like I said, I mentioned Free Guy earlier, so I definitely want to see that. Trying to think what else we got going on.
Did you see the newest Free Guy commercial with
no.
Oh my God. Okay, let me pull it up really quick. I'll just do a photo because they get mad at us if we do a
Shang-Chi. I saw a great new trailer for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Looks really good.
Every
really
trailer that comes out, I want to see it more. So get ready for Ryan Reynolds in the newest commercial for like I said, it's just a still shot, but it's so there's a character that they reveal in Free Guy named the Dude, and he's the upgraded version of Ryan Reynolds' character. And it's Ryan Reynolds' face and voice on it. And he does this whole commercial as though he's like, who needs to do all those big workouts? Look at me after 1 week. He's like, I'm so fit. Our last child actually was birthed while I was in shape like this, and they came out full grown and with shoes on. He's like, it was a little uncomfortable for Liv. He's like, it was a little weird for Liv to have our child born full grown, but she'll get over it. So this character alone is actually making me want to see this more. It's so funny.
Well, I like the trailer review with Deadpool and Korg. This is awesome. And I saw Ryan. I was on Good Morning America this morning, and I happened to flip through and I caught it real quick because Taika Waititi plays Korg, and he talked about it. He goes, I'm surprised Disney let us do that with Deadpool and Korg. He goes, I think they spent $55,000 a minute on Korg.
Yeah.
He goes, this morning they spent on my other trailers.
The big pause things there, but this is Ryan Reynolds in the movie. He's all jacked up. Let's see if I can find another still. Here he is talking to the camera, and he keeps flexing. He keeps bouncing his pecs. He's talking about his diet is like all raw eggs and human muscle. And then he's talking about how his Deadpool suit doesn't fit anymore, but that's okay because he's so jacked up.
Yeah.
Here he is looking at his Deadpool costume and because it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
So it's hilarious.
Yeah.
This is how when Ryan Reynolds is doing this, it's so good.
Yeah.
But when he does a role that he's not supposed to be Ryan Reynolds, that's where I no longer can believe him anymore as an actor because he's such a brand. Well,
and I think he's embracing that more and more between everything he's been doing between Deadpool, between the Hitman's Bodyguard movies, and now Free Guy. I don't really see him trying to do other stuff that he's like, hey, I'm just going to embrace it and run with it. So
yeah, I wonder if this is that John Cena? I wonder who that is.
I don't know. He's a pretty built guy though, but you can obviously tell where the head is that it's not a muscle suit. They put his face over. They're intentionally trying to make it look semi bad too, which is hilarious. So correct. it's like a video game. It's like, okay, we take this character, put on that because he's going to be this big guy now instead of redrawing the whole thing. And so no, that's awesome. I'm excited to see that.
Just made me want to see the movie more.
Yeah, this goes out a week from Friday, so I'm definitely going to go see this.
If you want to see this trailer, type in Free Guy Dude and it'll pop up.
Yeah, all right. So a nice thing is that we got these movies coming out. It's nice to be excited about movies again, to go see them and spend time in the theater. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we see on streaming, and I still watch stuff all the time streaming. I watched the new Bad Batch. I know you haven't, so we won't talk about that this week. I told Scott though, I said I was thinking this last week was supposed to be the season finale, but there's actually 16 episodes, so we got 2 more to go on that. Mm-hmm. So we're real excited about that there, and then trying to think what else have I. We've been gone, so we didn't watch like no TV at all while we were gone, which is great.
Yeah, it's hard when you're on the road.
I actually enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
It was nice. So we talk about we were all sitting around and we're funny. You can tell we're all getting old. We get done with the show after all day and we go out to eat. We're all excited. Have some great food and some great company and stuff like that. I love taking the trolley to Ybor City and all that. And we all get back up in the hotel and it's like, oh yeah, we start talking for a minute. Next thing you know, we're all just passed out. It's like, oh, what time is it? 9:45. But all of us were getting up between 5 and 6, and getting ready and headed back over to the show. And love the food truck we got for breakfast.
The food truck was great. Yeah. Here's that Yeoman's Cask and Lion. We highly recommend this.
Man, that place was great. If you want one of the best fish dinners I've ever tasted, and if you can't eat all that, get the fish sandwich. Yeah, it's like
literally a foot long easily.
Oh yeah,
and the fish is so perfect. It doesn't even need the batter, but the batter is delicious.
Yep,
and it's all British themed restaurant.
Mm-hmm. And the artwork you see there, they have posters, all paintings, all on the wall, and they even sell T-shirts and stuff like that. So it's a lot of cool stuff like that. So
I wish everything was good there. Picture of the inside. It's so I really love the
what you're looking at here though, the outside there, the left part there, that's like an outdoor open bar area. You can eat there, drink there, stuff like that. It was too humid for us to do that. They were packed though the one night, and then we went inside and it was packed inside on Thursday night. And I had the mac and cheese. They have several different ones. Whether you get the classic or I got the first night, I got that Philly steak mac and cheese. Really good. I didn't want a lot of food, and it was just enough. I ended up eating more than I expected because Kevin's like, I can't eat all this fish, and he had 18 pounds of fish left, and and then I didn't try yours, but you had your sandwich looked good. That chicken sandwich you got.
Oh, my sandwiches were awesome. The one night I got I forget the name of it, but it was basically a turkey club.
The Fergie
croissant. The Fergie, that was it. It was a turkey club sandwich on a croissant, and I got the house-made potato chips. They called them the Winston chips or Churchill chips, I think it was. So good. The next time I got their grilled chicken sandwich called Katie's Favorite or something like that. There was this grilled chicken on a brioche bun. So amazing. And I got some steamed broccoli with it. The broccoli was great. Brett, you got what did you get there for the appetizer that was really good?
Oh, we had the pretzel dipped pickles.
Yes. Oh my God, those were so good. So they crush up pretzels into the batter, and it sticks to the pickle really well. A lot of times when you get deep fried pickles, when you bite it, all the batter falls off. It just slides off. These had actually stayed on. It was so good. You get a little taste of pretzel in there.
That was good. That was real good. And
Yeah,
and
everything
I had
we had was delicious.
And I had the shepherd's pie was outstanding. It was just great.
They also do live music. There was a great performer. What was her name? Frankie Ray, I think it was.
Yep. I've got her CD somewhere. She was selling a CD and tipped her a little bit and then bought a CD. And she's like 4'8" of just powerhouse singing. She's tiny little thing, but she was great. And
a great voice.
First couple of songs, she's a little quiet. And then I clapped after the third song, and she's like, thank you. You saw a little embarrassment. And then she kind of opened up. You can tell her open up more. And then more people were clapping as she's finishing up songs. Great renditions of songs, and really enjoyed the whole set she did. And she was taking a break when we were getting ready to head out. So that's when we did it. So yeah, we're making Michelle hungry. Hey, that's one of the best parts of traveling is, it's like, okay, where are we going to eat at? Because, if we're going to go to these places, got to eat, might as well eat something good.
Yeah, let's give a little shout out to Frankie Ray here. Here we go. Here's her website here. So this is Frankie Ray. You can see how to spell it there. But
for all the Florida friends, she told me she's around Clearwater and Dunedin a lot. I think that's where she lives at. So she plays in different places out that way too. So
here she has some original music she sells, but what we heard were cover songs, but she never imitated the original song. She really made each song her own. You would actually hear it and be like, oh, that's a good song. Then you'd realize, oh, wait, that's this other song, because she did such a good job of making it her own. So here, I'll put this in the links here if people want to check out her music. If you do, let her know Odd Musings sent you.
Yep. Speaking of music, making our way, did you notice the song in the Jungle Cruise that was reimagined?
Oh my God! Who would have ever thought that would be? Should we say you go ahead?
Yeah, they took Metallica's "Nothing Else Matters" and James Newton Howard reimagined it for the soundtrack. It is. I actually, on the way home, I popped it up because it's on Amazon Music, and I listened on the way home. I was like, "This is just phenomenal!" What you could really just hear.
Whoever thought you'd have Metallica as the opening song to a Disney movie?
Yeah, I'm listening to it going, nothing else matters. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, they made good use of it.
Oh, that was fantastic. It was just great. But yeah, Frankie Ray loved seeing her and definitely enjoyed her music. And hopefully maybe we'll get lucky and see her again next time we go down that place.
Yeah, so, definitely.
And I'll have to follow her next time I'm in Florida, see if she's doing any singing when I'm down that way, and maybe pop in somewhere and grab a drink and listen. So
definitely. Should we go back to the Poe?
Yeah, let's talk a little poll here before we wrap up for the day. 83 backers, $3,472. Man, this has been a great Kickstarter so far. We got 8 days to go. So we got a week till tomorrow is when it should end. So
I'm putting the link in there right now.
Yeah.
There it goes. All right. So I got the link shared. Go there to become backer. We're at 3,400. It's doing awesome. It's the people who were at the show who got to see Kevin's original drawings for Poe 3, all loved them. It was well received. And you can get some of those original pages as one of the rewards.
Well, I'm sure you guys had it there. I know in Gem City, a couple people were trying to actually buy him there at the show. Yeah. But he had them as rewards on that too. So definitely check that out for the rewards and different things you can get.
And the way he's doing it is, if you want an original, the sooner you back, the better, because whoever is the first backer of the originals will get first choice.
He already had someone message him right away. Clicked it, signed up, and said, "I want this page."
Yep, exactly.
And they're getting that page. So I think it's cool. It's a offer on this one. So yeah, our next stretch goal, we need 17 more people. So if there's 17 people that have not joined in the Kickstarter, you even remotely think about it, sign up now. Heck, even just throwing in just the minimal stuff to get the rewards is a great way to go too. You can get digital versions of the books, or you can get the physical versions. And if you missed out on Poe 1 and 2, well, they are available as add-ons. So definitely hop on and get that. So
I'll go to the add-ons just to show. And there's the covers.
Everyone
loves variant covers. So Tons
The
of
metal
covers
one's
to
gonna look
choose
really
from.
cool too when it comes in.
And there's only 25 of those. So if you want the metal, you got to get in early.
Yep.
There's some of the original art. Here's the add-ons. You've got a button, vinyl stickers. We got the issue number 2 Sean Forney prints available, along with some 4x6 art of it, digital copy. So there's a lot to choose from, and they're all very well priced. More variant covers.
Well, and nice thing as you see there, Kevin's giving a discount to those that missed out on issues in the first couple and want to add them on at $6. So there is these add-ons, you're getting a discount on the additional books versus what you would get normally at the shows and everything
if you
else.
want some little sketch cards, 4x6 sketches in marker and ink, you can do that. $8. That's normally like a $20 buy. So, so you got some good things there. All the current and his Crimson Shadows work, the covers he did for Crimson Shadows 1 and 2, sketches. Stretch goals are the first 3 sketch goals are unlocked. So the Raven sticker, the Alone print, and the exclusive cover are now available. And last but not least, the metal trading card, which I think we're going to hit. We've got 8 days left. We're only 17 backers away.
Well, and if we could blow past that in the next couple of days, I think Kevin might be looking at adding another little stretch goal too.
Yep.
Which would probably be dollar amount tied into like hitting $5,000 at that point. So definitely check it out, guys. We always appreciate the backing. I don't know. Are we doing it tonight or tomorrow night? We're going to get together and.
Whatever you tell me is what I'll do.
Okay, we got to ask Kevin what his schedule's like when he wants to do it tonight or tomorrow next. We hadn't really discussed that. We've been so busy concentrating on a lot of other things. So,
yeah.
But yeah, join Scott next week. I may not be here next week the way it's looking because I'm going to see Weezer and Fall Out Boy and Green Day out in Comerica Park. Did meet a gal over at Tampa when I was talking about being in Colorado for the show at the end of the month. She's going a few days before the show. She may stay and go to Colorado Spring Comic-Con, and she's going to see them in Denver that Wednesday. So I was like, that's cool. I say, you should come out to the show so we can compare notes on how good the shows were. And that, so really excited. So looking forward to that concert next week. And then we got this Kickstarter's going on, and then we'll be talking down the road here about our next Kickstarter, which is going to be Crimson Shadows number 3.
That's right. We're rolling everything out. We're doing good.
So excellent. So I'm gonna run the trailer for you guys so you can haven't really paid attention to the Kickstarter, and then we'll see, at least Scott will see you all next week, maybe me too, who knows. See you guys.